That's what love is asking you to do. And either you listen and have love reward you with the right man, or you ignore this and keep attracting boring men that you don't find attractive and getting brushed off by the men that you do. If you're a successful woman in your 30s or 40s and you are exhausted by dating, scared you'll never find love, and unsure why you're still single, you are in the right place. Welcome to Find Love with Emily. I'm Emily Bucknell, and I am not here to give you more of the same old dating advice, tell you to try harder, swipe more, fix yourself, or wait for your luck to change, because you already know that none of that works. This is where we look below the surface at how love really happens, the one rule it always follows, and the reason dating has felt so hard for so long. Because when you see that, dating finally makes sense and love becomes possible again, even if it's been years since you've been on a decent date. So let's get into today's episode. So I hear this a lot, and I think this is one of the most frustrating situations to be stuck in, where you're attracting men, but these men, they're not particularly exciting. They're perhaps a little boring, the kind of average sort of men where there's no spark, there's no chemistry. There isn't anything, like I said, exciting happening. So you have to force yourself to date these men. It feels like these are the only men that are there. So you're like, okay, well, yeah, sure, I'll go on a date. I'll go on another date. Maybe something will happen. And then often there's the other part to this where the men that you are attracted to, the men that you are interested in, where you think about them and you feel excited, they're the men that couldn't care less about you. Like, annoying. There's this big old mismatch, and it's infuriating, isn't it? Because you don't want to have to settle. You don't want to have to be with someone that you have to force yourself to date. But then it also feels like you can't do much if the men that you want, they just aren't interested in you. And I'm sure if this is where you're at right now, you feel blocked. Like there's this big old brick wall in front of you, like you're stuck. There's nothing really that you can do. There's no way to move forward because no matter what you do, it's the same experience over and over and over again until now, of course, because I'm going to walk you through why this actually happens and therefore what to do to break this pattern. Because underneath all of this is the biggest, I'm not even kidding, the biggest lesson in love for single women if you're dating in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. And so for that reason, please share this episode with all of your single friends because I'm not going to be holding back here like I ever do. I'm going to be telling it to you straight. And this honestly is something that every single woman needs to hear who wants real lasting love with a man who is the whole package, who's kind, genuine, committed, loyal, and attractive as fuck. So let's get into why you attract the men that you're not attracted to, and then the men that you're interested in, they aren't interested in you. And there are three main reasons for this. And number three, it is the most important one, so make sure you really pay attention to that one. So reason number one that this happens, we're going to start with the root of it all, the beliefs that you hold in your subconscious mind, because they determine everything that you experience. It's literally the way that your brain has been designed. It is the way that us humans function in life. This is something that I'm going to go deep into in the next episode. And this is the second part to the self-assessment, your blocks to love. So make sure you're following the show. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that episode the second it comes out. There's a really simple exercise that I walk you through as well. Because if you want to break out of this pattern, like you want to finally attract the kind of man that is the whole package, you want to find love, you cannot ignore this. You cannot ignore what is happening in your subconscious mind because love will not happen for you no matter what you do, how badly you want it, or how hard you try until you do this work on the beliefs that you hold. So I want you to close your eyes just for a second and listen to these statements. It's not possible for me to attract the right man who loves me and I love just as much in return. Love, relationships, they always end in pain. I never get what I want. I'm always disappointed. Men who are the whole package, who are kind, genuine, loving, and attractive, these men don't exist, or I don't attract them. They don't want me. I am someone who has to settle. I have to take what I can get because what I want isn't possible. Everyone else gets the most incredible men, but I never do. Love is hard for me. Feel free to open your eyes. If any of these statements felt true to you, then these are unloving beliefs, as I call them, that are currently wired into your subconscious mind. These are beliefs that are not based in love. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you'll know that love always follows the one rule. Love follows love. So as long as these unloving beliefs are what are wired into your subconscious mind, then they're going to be what you experience. You're not going to experience the kind of love that you want. And like I said, this is literally how your brain works, how we function as humans in life. So for example, if you believe that you're never going to attract the kind of man that you want, the full package man, then what your brain does is make sure you only see the men who are not the full package. Your dream man right now, he exists. There are so many men around you, but your brain literally deletes, distorts, or generalizes these men so you don't see them. Because your brain, like I said, it's designed to always prove your beliefs to be true. And then also, if you believe that you never attract the kind of men that you want, then the thoughts that you're not really aware of are going to be saying that to you. I never attract the right men. Love is hard for me to find. That's the story that's on repeat in your mind. And if you're walking around with someone who's constantly telling you that, then it's no surprise that you feel frustrated, you feel disappointed. When you think about dating, you think, well, what the hell's the point? And if that's how you feel about dating, then you're going to be out there dating really expecting the worst. You're not going to be the passionate, excited, lit up, happy, joyful kind of you that you really are. And so you end up attracting all the men who leave you feeling more disappointed and more over it all than you were when you started. So I want you to think of those unloving beliefs that you hold in your subconscious mind as though you're driving with the handbrake on. These are the things that are stopping you from finally meeting and having the man who is the full package come into your life. And as long as these beliefs feel true for you, then it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much you want love. It doesn't matter how many apps you're on, how many dates you go on. Your dating experiences will always be what you're experiencing right now. It'll be the same boring men over and over again, the same experience where the men you want don't want you. I don't know if I've made this clear enough, but there is absolutely no getting around this if you want love. You have to rewire these beliefs so they are loving. So you believe the best, most loving thing about yourself, about men, about dating, about love, and what's possible for you. So statements like, I attract the most incredible men and they love me. Dating is fun. It's easy. I love the men that I attract. I'm excited by the men that I attract. I see a future with so many of the men that I attract. And if those statements feel like fairy tale bullshit for you right now, then that is a big old sign. You have to do this work to shift those beliefs, change those beliefs that you have in your subconscious mind so they are loving. So your thoughts and that story that you're telling yourself all the time is the best. It's loving. It's you meeting the incredible men so it can finally happen for you. So you have your brain, you have your subconscious mind on board actually helping you find love rather than holding that handbrake on. Which is what we do in weeks 5 and 6 in Attract Your Man, using tools like EFT, hypnosis, subliminal audios, rapid resolution therapy, neural energetic encoding, neural linguistic programming, so many different tools and techniques. And most of them inside Attract Your Man are as easy as just pressing play on an audio. And then I guide you. I help you actually change those beliefs in your subconscious mind so you have your subconscious mind working for you, helping you find love. That handbrake comes off. So in the next episode, like I said, we're going to go deeper into understanding how your subconscious mind works, looking at all those beliefs that you have right now that are unloving, that are stopping you from finding love. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that, because it's only when you do this work that dating becomes so much easier. You attract better men so much easier. You break out of these patterns so that love can finally happen for you too. So the second reason you attract the men that you're just not attracted to, and then the men that you are attracted to aren't attracted to you, is because you're not clear, really clear about what you truly want, what the relationship is that you want, like at a deep soul freaking level. You might have an idea about the kind of man that you want. So often we focus on what he looks like, what he does for work, where he lives, what his family is like. But if real lasting love is what you want, all of that, it matters way less than you think. So in week 3 of Attract Your Men, we go deep into what that love is that you truly want, the love that will truly fulfill you, what that means in terms of the kind of relationship that you want as well, which is different for us all. And the often surprising part of this, it's not actually about the man, it's about the relationship that you want. Because when you focus on the relationship that you want, then who the right man is becomes far more obvious. It means that you stop looking for that surface level stuff, the spark, the chemistry, the attraction straight up. You start to see whether or not there's something deeper there that you both recognize. And I'll talk more about this in a second. But until you get clear on the kind of relationship and the kind of love that you want that will make you truly happy, then it's like you're out there kind of dating aimlessly. Sort of like a plastic bag in the wind, just waiting for someone that feels good, someone that turns your head. And then you assume that just because he's done this, then he's right for you. And for sure, like chemistry, attraction, spark, it all feels really good. It feels like something. But let's be honest, it's never love, is it? It's never love. It's the situationship that breaks your heart. It's the man that you cannot rely on. It's the man who doesn't care about getting to know you, who isn't interested in learning how you tick or learning what makes you smile. So if you're dating before you're really clear about the kind of relationship and the kind of love that you want, then you're really just skimming the surface. And so nothing is ever quite right for you because you haven't gone deep enough if you want love. And so you end up just kind of taking whatever happens to be there. And you get stuck at that place where it's the boring men who just aren't it, or the men who feel like they might be it, but they're not interested in you. You never get any closer to love. Which brings us to the big old lesson about love here. And this is the third reason that you attract the men that you're not attracted to. So the men that you attract, they're either what you want, and if they're not what you want, then they are the lesson you need in love. Whenever the same man shows up continually in your life wearing different pants, there's a pattern at play. And what I want you to start doing is asking, what is this trying to get me to learn? What is this trying to get me to do differently? What am I not seeing here about love? And obviously, I'm here to answer those questions for you. And in comes the conversation you probably do not want to have right now, but you need to hear if you ever want to find love. More and more, we've been geared towards instant gratification, what feels good straight up. And there's this bullshit idea out there that when you meet the right person, it's instant fireworks, it's chemistry, you just know. But go ask real people who have found lasting love, and they'll often tell a different story. Like, it wasn't fireworks when I met my husband. I had a sense that he was different from other men, but I was like, oh yeah, here's another guy. My parents, who have been married 51 years, my mum actually thought my dad was a massive loser when she first met him. My best friend really did not like her husband when they first met. He had to seriously try to get her to go out with him. I know you've probably heard this before, but I have a very different take on this than most. Don't mistake chemistry, sparks, fireworks, attraction for love, because it's not love at all. Love, it is actually deeper, it is slower, it is steadier, and so it becomes something that lasts. And this is where so many women get this all wrong. This does not mean go force yourself to date the boring guy. That's not going to do a damn thing if what you want is love. What you're actually being asked to do is to go deeper, to look past what you see straight up if you want love. You're not here for the breadbasket at the restaurant anymore. You are here for the luxurious, the slow, the long, the steady, super fancy degustation experience where you don't even know what the chef is about to serve you. You're here to enjoy each and every course as it arrives, without expectation, without judgment, with just love, with appreciation. And that being said, you don't have to love each course, but you got to sit there long enough to appreciate it. What I'm about to say, honestly, it will completely change your entire experience of dating if you pay attention. This will make love so much easier to find, but it will feel totally backwards, uncomfortable, and completely counterintuitive, which is why it works so freaking dang well. There's a quote that I live by, Danielle Laporte. The journey has to feel the same way the destination does. Something along those lines. But what it means is that right now, dating has to feel how love will feel. You are being asked to slow the fuck down. Stop the race to the finish line. Stop the race to love. You are being asked to move like love does, slowly, steadily, building into something beautiful that lasts, which is what you want, isn't it? When you slow down, love speeds up. You're being asked to get out of husband hunting mode. Not judging men on 3 photos you see on their dating profile or within an hour as to whether or not they're your future husband. Forget the expectations, forget all the criteria, forget the check boxes, forget all that bullshit. Because I'm sure it's not how you want to be treated by men either. If you want men to take the time to get to know you, to be interested in who you are, then you've got to do that for the men in front of you as well, even if they're not someone you immediately see yourself with long term. That is what you're being asked to do. Look past first impressions. Look at the person who is in front of you. Find the good. Find qualities in them that you appreciate. Look for love. That's love. That's what you want someone to do for you. That's what love is asking you to do. And either you listen and have love reward you with the right man, or you ignore this and keep attracting boring men that you don't find attractive and getting brushed off by the men that you do. And I get how annoying and resistant you might be to doing this. But please be bloody aware if you're saying right now, I already do this. Because you wouldn't be listening to this episode if you truly were doing this. When I slowed down, stopped treating dating like a race to love, like a means to an end, like find the right man yesterday, and decided to just have fun getting to know new people, new men, whoever happened to be in front of me, it was literally only 4 weeks before I met my husband. The men I matched with, I texted, I went on dates with, my one and only mission was to understand who he was. Obviously, I didn't do this with the men that I got ick kind of bad vibes from, who were being like openly gross or disgusting. But the men who came across who seemed nice, maybe a bit boring, but that I felt comfortable to spend an hour or 2 with, I did. And I spent that time with them not trying to size up whether he was my future husband, but just understanding who he was. Having a nice time, no expectations for anything at all. And about 3 of these guys I actually went on a few dates with, but either then it fizzled out, or as much as I appreciated them, I just didn't see it going anywhere, so I sent them on their way with love. But I feel like this is the opposite of dating culture now. My Instagram, my Find Love with Emily Instagram, my feed, it is filled with women doing the opposite of this. Endless videos complaining about how boring their date was, how lame the date was that this man had planned, and then wondering why they never get any better, why they never get what they want. Love doesn't work like that. Love follows love. Have gratitude for what you have in front of you, and you'll get more of what you want. Do not underestimate the power of gratitude. It will give you an entirely different dating experience. You know, those men that I dated, I still remember them. Where we went, what we talked about, what made them tick, what they saw for their future, the jobs that they had. And then my husband appeared. And you know what sold me on him? It wasn't attraction or chemistry or spark. It was how different he was as a person from anyone else I'd met. There was no BS. He called me to chat in between dates. He was upfront about how he felt, what he wanted. A total gentleman. I could tell he was the loyal, committed, rock solid kind of man that would meet me in the kind of relationship I always wanted. And because of all of that, he became attractive as fuck to me. And as someone who's gone from the guys with the immediate spark, the chemistry, the attraction, yeah, it's fun, but it's also fucking surface level. It is not going to get you through the ups and downs of sleepless nights with babies, gastro, the flu, renovating houses, life and death. Trying to build a relationship on spark, chemistry, and attractions like trying to build a life on quicksand. It's not going to last. If you want a long-term relationship, you have to look for long-term qualities. Spark, chemistry, attraction, straight up, not a long-term quality. Let me just say that immediate spark, it has nothing on the kind of chemistry and attraction that happens when you truly know someone. When you appreciate who they are, you fully love who they are, and you know they feel the same way about you. That kind of attraction and chemistry, it is so beyond a sexual thing. It becomes a soul level thing. And that's why you can still be attracted to each other, even though you haven't washed your hair in days, you're wearing your granny undies, and your bodies have changed, you're aging. That's love, that's real love. That's the kind of love that lasts, but it takes time. It's not something that you can see from a couple of photos or a few words written on a dating profile, or even in a couple of hours on a first date. It's something that happens when you slow the F down, when you have gratitude and you can find the good in the men that you are attracting right now, so that then you can attract better. So to summarize, if you want to attract the men that you're not only attracted to, but where real love can grow, where you can build the most incredible lives together, then number one, you have to do the work to rewire the unloving beliefs you hold that are at the root of all of this. So like I said, make sure you listen to the next episode, the self-assessment, your blocks to love part 2. We go deeper into this, the beliefs that you hold in your subconscious mind and how they determine all of your dating experiences and how easy or hard it is for you to find love. And number 2, get super clear on what you want, not in terms of the man that you want, but in terms of the love and the relationship that you want. And if you want some help to do this, the link for Attract Your Man is in the show notes. Check that out once you've finished listening to this episode. And then number 3, slow the F down in dating. Get to really know the men that you meet. Take your time to understand who they are, and love will speed up. And if you have any questions, comments, you found this episode helpful or it brought up some things for you that you want to chat about, let me know in the comments if you're listening on Spotify or send me a DM on Instagram. I reply to all the DMs that you send. I love having these chats with you. And until next episode, love always.